K2SJP. Stand by for the unfortunate fires broadcast. Just about Nest 9 here. Good morning, Bob. K1BOB.
Good morning, Bob. Solid copy into Tampa Bay today, 5 and 9.
Okay, thanks. K1BOB standing by for Air Force flyers in 13 minutes.
And W5OG is here. Good morning, everyone. Everybody has a good signal.
In Belleville, Texas this morning, Bob. Little, not quite the 20 over you normally are, so you probably haven't turned that amp on yet. W4PUO, good signal though.
Thank you, Leon. The antenna was in the wrong direction, and I got the rotator boxes apart to find out what's going on. I'm not getting any indication. So the amplifier is on, but antenna's in the wrong direction. Good morning to you, Leon. And good morning, Dale. And Dale, I guess you're home by now. Go ahead.
Yes, we got home Saturday afternoon, and all is well here. We are home, had a good trip, wonderful summer there, Bob. Thank you. K2SJP, W5OG, standing by for the net.
Okay, Dale. Welcome back home. K2SJP, standing by.
And Leon, the real men of work, long pass on the back of their beams. K1BOB.
Is somebody still touching NetLogger, or is my computer deciding to do it at once? KJ5BWB?
I've stopped logging, Willie. I disconnected myself from logging, so it's not me.
W7HJN, standing by for the Air Force fire suspect. W7AJN, great signal with net control. K1BOB, good morning.
Good morning, Bob. Looking forward to a great
How hot's it going to be? I don't want to tell you what it was here this morning when I got up.
KJ5BWB, this is WW5ENZ.
WW5ENZ, KJ5BWB. Over to you, sir.
Hey, Willie, I just wanted to pass along to you. I'm re-entering some of the people, so, with saved information, because if you put them in for the first time on your computer, you won't have any of the data. So I kind of am redoing some of them for you, and as soon as you see that there's a member ID, you go ahead and save it to your computer, like I said, in the AIM window. And that'll kind of make things a little easier for you, so you don't have to look up the numbers and all that stuff. Okay? WW5ENZ, clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for that. WW5ENZ, KJ5BWB.
Okay, watch it. I'm going to do one with Joe now. No, he's already good. I'm going to do one with Bob out in California, NX6RG. So I'm going to go ahead and pull him and re-enter him, and you'll see the data come in.
KJ5BWB. Willie, would you please add Don to the list? That's K0ZNC and stick him at the top, please. K1DOB.
Yes, sir. As soon as Chief Mike is done with his thing, I'll add him right under Lee's name. K1BOB, KJ5BWB.
Roger, roger. Many thanks.
Never mind, he did it for me. All right.
This is Kilo 1 Bravo, Oscar Bravo. Air Force Flyers Club Net will commence in 5 minutes. 5 minutes to net start. Good morning and welcome to the Air Force Flyers Club Net. This is Kilo 1, Bravo, Oscar Bravo, K4YDB. My name is Bob. I'll be your net controller. My location is 30 miles north of Boise, Idaho in the Idaho West Central Mountains. This net begins every day this time of year at 1500 UTC, 1500 Greenwich Mean Time. Flyers Club Net meets on this frequency, 14290, as best we can on upper sideband 7 days a week, every day of the year usually. You can listen to our net on any of the SDRs that are out there like Utah 2, Ogden 2, or the Lumpkin repeater. We do donate money to the site, the Utah site every year. So feel free to use those if you're having a hard time receiving me. I am coming into Lumpkin over an S9 right now, so if you can't hear me directly, you can hear me on Lumpkin repeater in Georgia. The Flyers Club consists of military aviation members, both active and retired, from all services air branches. We also very much like to welcome visitors to the net, and you don't need to be involved in the military necessarily or aviation to check in. We'd like to have you just the same. Please visit our website and learn what we're all about, and if you have the desire to join even, if you meet the requirements, you can sign up on our site. And there's lots of more other information to learn about us. It is the site at www.airforcesflyersclub.org. Simply Air Forces, plural, Flyers, plural, club.org. Also, you can see us on NetLogger, which we're currently on. If you use NetLogger, you can see where you're at in the list this morning. See who else is there, and see the call signs, see the names to get familiar. And also, we're on YouTube, streaming right now live as I speak. And K4YDB is our guy that runs that, and also a net controller. Charlie is streaming YouTube live, and you can see NetLogger on there. You can hear the net on there, and you can see the question of the day that Charlie will have up there. So it has it all, everything in one. Just go to YouTube and put in search Kilo 4 YDB, Kilo 4 Yankee Delta Bravo, and there you'll have it, everything you need to know. Our net format is to go once down the initial check-in list and make a second call out for check-ins and go to a 73 route to complete the net. Please try and limit your comments to 2 minutes. Let's see, this is a directed net, contact net control. Please use the words contact, relay, info, or check-in as required. We are a national net and scope. We have relay stations across the country. And when checking in, it's important. Please give your call sign slowly and phonetically, followed by your name, location, and if you'd like an early out or not, and we'll just get you in and out, and that's fine. Let's see. I think that's about all I have. I'm going to go down the list as I have it, so you don't need to check in if I mention your name here. But I'll take check-ins afterwards, and we'll ask for a few relays across the country. Thus far, I have on the list. I'll break for a moment. Okay, K4YDB, and on our list this morning in this order, we have K0ZNC, that's Don out in Longmont. Good morning again, Don. I think we've got the communications worked out on that, and thanks Chief Mike and Dale for volunteering, and I guess we'll try Dale today. Give Chief a break. You did it last time for me, I think, Mike. On Thursday. Let's see, we have next N5BE, that's Lee, who's helping our new prodigy, Willie, down there in Belton, Texas, KG5BWE. He was picking up and volunteered very nicely. He raised his hand and said, I'll do NetLogger. So he's giving it a go today. He's already got some experience in using it on one of his, I think, 2-meter nets, or one of the local nets there. So thank you very much, Willie, for doing that. After that, in the number 4 position, we have WB5DRI in San Antonio. That is Brian. Good morning, Brian. And next we have the aforementioned Willie, KJ5BWB. After that, we have yet another Texas station, W5OG. Thanks for bringing Don in this morning, Dale. Give me a break. And after that, we have KF5GJO, our operations officer. Good morning to Carl. And after that, we have also in Belton, Texas. That would be James, KG5PTE. Good morning, James. And then we'll have W5TIX. That's Clifford. I think maybe you're mobile today, Cliff. I couldn't hear you too well earlier, but we'll get you one way or another. Good morning to Clifford. And after that, WA6LJS checked in and checked out. We can mark him as checked out. That's WA6LJS. Had to make an appointment this morning. That's John, another net controller on Tuesday. You'll hear him tomorrow. Next on the list, we have WW5ENZ. Of course, that's Chief Mike out in Choctaw. Good morning, Mike. And next will be WB2JJO, and that is Raymond out in Costa, New Jersey. Good morning, Ray. In Lutz, Florida, K2SJP, who's escaping the hurricanes so far this year to some extent, is Bob, Big Signal Bob. Good to hear you this morning again, sir. And then after that, we have John, a visitor from Cincinnati, Ohio. We welcome W1AFR. Air Force Reserve? I don't know. We'll find out when we get to you, Don. And after that, we have up in Pleasanton, east of San Francisco, that's NX5RG, Professor Bob and Schroeder. Then we have W5CDI, and that's Joe with the big signal coming in from Las Cruces, City of Crosses there. Good morning, Joe, again. And after that, W7AJN, that's John of Peoria with a nice signal today. Good morning again, John. And then we have, we mentioned earlier for you, streaming YouTube. Get on there. K4YDB, make sure you give him a thumbs up too. He'll appreciate it. That's Charlie in Cartersville, Georgia. K4YDB. Good morning, Charlie. And then last so far on the list is Mike in Clarkson, Nebraska. KF0OPE. Good morning to Mike. Okay, that's the list as I have it. I'll ask for check-ins and early outs momentarily if you haven't mentioned it so far. This is K1BOB. Are there any other check-ins for the Air Force Flyers Club? Please come now with your call sign and name slowly and phonetically. W4PUO. Okay, Lee, I thought I talked to you earlier today. We'll make sure you're on the list, though. Yeah, I know I don't see you on the list thus far. Somehow you got, maybe in the mayhem going on with NetLogger right now. There's a few people working it. We missed you. Good morning, Lee. Good to hear you. Nice signal there from Texas. Okay, any other check-ins? Air Force Flyers, please come now. Force Flyers, please come now. Okay, something went funny there. I don't know what it is here with the flex. No one else is trying to get in on it. Oh, they can't. Okay, we got, last I had was W4PUO, Lee there. Maybe I hit my wrong button. It's easy to hit the transmit or the tune button. Once in a while, the cursor moves. My bad. Any other check-ins? Air Force Flyers, please come in. Nothing heard here. Let's give NX6RG to give a call from the far west coast there. NX6RG, Bob, if you hear me, would you please give a call out? Nothing heard. Okay, thank you very much, Bob. And let's give Florida a try here, and that is the Bob out there. K2SJP. Bob, would you please give a call?
Welcome, Bob. This is K2SJP Relay for Net Control, calling any members or guests for the Air Force's Flyers Club. Net, please call now. Nothing heard, Bob.
Okay, thank you, Bob. This is K1BOB. Does anybody require an early out? Are there any early outs? We'll get you to the top of the list. Please come now. I had something real light in there. Did anybody copy that? Okay, nothing heard here. Let's see. Well, here's a question of the day. I have a lot of follow-up on these two questions. They are short questions, though, but they require some follow-up. I think a lot of you know the answers to one or both of these. Well, use your Ouija board, your Google, or whatever you like. Talk to your cat or your goldfish, and see if you can discern an answer for these two questions. I know some of you have worked in the career field related to this, and others have used these devices, or at least the first question's device. And here it is. This secure telephone system was heavily used by the services and government in general from the 1970s through the early 2000s. That probably could have been used by many of us, depending what our jobs were. Which of these systems was it? Once again, and this question Charlie has up now, I believe. Let me look, and yeah, Charlie's got these streaming on YouTube. Here is first question again today. This secure telephone system was heavily used by the services and government in general from the 1970s through early 2000s. Which of these systems was it? There's only one answer, one correct answer here. Was it answer alpha? It was called Sig Sally. Sig Sally. S-I-G-S-A-L-Y. Answer alpha. Choice alpha is Sig Sally. Or is it Bravo? Answer Bravo is STE. Sierra Tango Echo System. Was it STE? Or is it answer Charlie? Was it called Have Quick? Have Quick. H-A-V. Quick, as in quickly. Or was a system called Delta? Answer Delta was a system called Tinkle. Answer Delta is Tinkle, like Tinkle Tinkle Little Star. Or is the answer Echo, the STU-3, the Sierra Tango Uniform 3. And here is a bonus question. You get extra points on this one. I know a couple of you know this. This was a name Allied codebreakers gave the main and most secure Japanese encrypted communication system during World War II. This was a name Allied codebreakers gave the main and most secure Japanese encrypted communication system during World War II. Which of these coded systems was it called? Was it answer Alpha, the Juliet November 25 Bravo? Was it JN 25B? Answer Bravo. Was it called Alachi? A-L-A-C-H-I. Was it called Alachi? Alpha, Lima, Alpha, Charlie, Hotel, India. Or is it answer C?
It was called RS3, Romeo Sierra 3, Rising Sun 3. Or answer Delta, it was called the Enigma Code. So there are your two questions of the day. They are streaming currently on YouTube, thanks to K4YDB Charlie. With that, I'll just check for any last check-ins. Any late folks to the Air Force Flyers, please come in now with your call sign, name and location. K1BOB calling.
Whiskey 2, Juliet, Lima, Delta, QRP.
I had somebody really light out there. Anybody copy it?
Relay, KJ5BWB, that was a Whiskey 2, Juliet, Lima, Delta, QRP station from New York.
Okay, thanks, Willie. W2JLD will get you on the list. If you can turn up your power, that sure helps on this net. It's not getting to me hardly at all. I barely heard a whisper. But W2JLD, we're going to put you on the list today. If you can turn up the power. Do you need early out today, sir?
Yes, early out today I'm using a QRP rig, 7 watts, on a 66-foot long end set at my local park. Thank you for taking my check-in. Roger, roger.
Okay, say that one more time. I pulled you up on an SDR. Give me your name and location. I think I heard mobile. Go ahead.
This is Whiskey 2, Juliet, Lima, Delta, running QRP, 7 watts with the Zygu G90 on a 66-foot long end set. Over.
Okay, I still don't have the name there. You're a little fast for me. Give me your name one more time. Did you say you need to be an early out? I think I copied Mobile.
Roger, early out. The name is John, Juliet, Oscar, Hotel, November.
Okay, John, very good. Got all that. And we'll pick you up at the top of the list. I'll get you in first. Thanks for joining us this morning. Hang in there just a minute. I'm going to ask for any other check-ins. Please send them. Okay, we'll get the net going here. I'm going to turn off the SDR so you don't get the feedback. And well, let's go to W2JLD. I'm not sure if you got a question heard my question this morning, John, but do you have military experience? Just curious. You don't need to. We talk mostly aviation, military-related topics in all the AFSCs in the Air Force and the other services that supported military aviation. So, John, go ahead up in Rochester. You're up.
Roger. Thank you very much for taking my check-in here in Rochester, New York. No military service, and I believe that was the Enigma machine that the United States government had to decode the ciphering of German intelligence and their code as well. So just checking in for the numbers, W2JLD.
Okay, very good. We'll put you down for the bonus question of answer Delta, the Enigma machine. Very good. Well, thank you for joining us, John, this morning. And we'll give you a 73, and we'll leave you in and out. And thanks for joining us up in Rochester. I was stationed up in New York. Nice state, especially the upper state part. Okay, K1BOB, we'll go to next. I'll ask Dale to please bring in via Echo Link K0ZNC. W5OG, over to you, sir.
Yeah, just let me get set up here. Just 1 second. Go ahead, Don.
K0ZNC, Don in Longmont, Colorado. Good morning to all the flyers. We're having a really nice day here today. Not too hot, not too cold. Really nice fall day. And it is fall here. The leaves starting to turn, and the elk are starting to bugle.
Anyway, let's see. Currently we're, what is it, 67 degrees, 3% chance of rain, and the high today of 86. So it's a nice fall day. Anyway, to the question, I have absolutely no idea, so I'm going to do a flag on both of them. I'm going to call the first one Delta, and the second one Charlie. The second one Charlie, so put me down for a DC direct current. With that, I will try to be here as usual on the 73 band, so I'll be listening if I'm here and come in. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. But I think I'm going to be here. Should be here, at least as far as I know at this point in time. With that, I want to thank everybody that tried to help me out this morning and get me on IHF. You guys are doing a superb job. So we'll turn it back to you, Bob, K4YDB via W5OG, and we'll hope to see you later on the 73 round. Back to you, Bob, K0ZNC.
W5OG, back to net.
Okay, very good, Dale. Nice simulcast there. Caught most of that. Let's see. Well, we got, I guess, too many helpers on NetLogger right now. Lee, would you just take it over for Willie right now? Lee is going to take it over. N5DE, I knew you started it up with Willie this morning, but in trying to help out, it's confusing Willie. So, Willie, take a break. I'm watching the aim window here, so I understand. And N5DE, Lee, would you confirm you'll take over at Echo Link on the NetLogger?
K1BOB and 5DE, yeah, I sure will. And I didn't get Don's answers because I didn't think I needed to log it, so I wasn't there for that. Yeah, and I can understand Willie's frustration. I went through the same stuff, kind of feeling my way, and then people trying to help me out, and it just kind of snowballed. So I fully understand. So yeah, I'll go ahead and take it from here. I want to say one thing. You know how I am about history and aviation history and airplanes and everything else. I forgot to do something last week, and I want to do it now. I want to pay homage to the C-130. A tip of the hat to Marietta, Georgia. That airplane celebrated its 70th anniversary of its first flight last week. Still in production, of course. So a tip of the hat to all the aviators, maintainers from all our allied countries who operate that airplane, have operated it, and how many lives that airplane has saved. I wanted to get that out there. So on to this question. I tripped over something this week which I found fascinating, and it had to do with Ultra. And it had to do with dispensing Ultra information to forces in the field. And it got so balled up that they started siloing information to military units in the field that were in sectors. So they started just whittling down the information per sector. But Ultra and the operators Ultra were not smart enough at the time. They didn't have the technology to understand that units move from one sector to the other dependent on the tactical situation. So they'd be going into battle thinking something and it wasn't true, or they didn't know. Anyway, it was a mess. So I stumbled across that. Everything wasn't all that rosy, even with reading the Germans' mail there. So on the question, oh boy, I thought, I kept myself to the top up. I thought I was going to get a spanking, richly deserved for my questioning. So but I'm going to go with Echo. Now, the next one, the bonus question, I've never heard of those other ones other than A. And you said system there, but I'm going with A. I'm just going to go with A because I recognize that as a code. So it's not a system, it was a code. But anyway, I'm going to go with that. I'm going with Echo and Alpha. N5B. Nicely done, Bob. I like it.
Okay, very good, Lee. And we've got you down for Echo and Alpha there. And I didn't pick up John's comments there early on. I was too involved in the other stuff that was going on here. So very good. Got you for that. And I think KJ5BWB Willie went offline on NetLogger. Well, we hope you're there. We'll give you a try here, Willie. Understand, I've seen it happen before in amateur radio, where it's easy to give people starting out the first time on a certain net, running a net or otherwise, just giving totally too much help and barging in. And that happens. Best of intentions, no doubt, best of intentions there. So anyway, don't take it badly, Willie. We still want to get you in there. Run the net logger will give you maximum latitude to do that. With that, well, let's go down to Brian in San Antonio. Well, our intel officer, WB5DRI, probably got some insight on this. Probably should have put you at the bottom of the list, Brian, but this is where you came up. Go ahead, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Bob. K4YDB and the net. This is WB5DRI. Well, good morning to the net, and nice day down here in San Antonio. We're going to be a little bit cooler today. Only 91 for the high, and we're in the mid-80s right now. But good net, good questions there this morning, Bob. I know the answers to these questions. How about that? After being a 20-year intel officer, I should know the answers to these. I'm going to have to recuse myself from answering these questions. Just put me down for the correct answers because I definitely know the answers here. But I did want to say, for the DX chasers out there like myself, there's some good DX out there. St. Paul Island in the Indian Ocean, CY9C, was active last night, and I've seen them the last couple of nights, I think, on 20 and 40 CW. And last night, the band was just open late all across the world. I worked New Zealand, San Marino, and Italy, and there were stations from all across Europe. It was amazing. Anyway, a lot of great DX. Anyway, I'll turn it back to you, Bob. Thanks for getting us all in there this morning. Hope everybody is having a good day there. K4YDB, WB5DRI, back to net. Good morning, everybody.
Okay, very good, Brian. It was 7 degrees above freezing here this morning when I woke up. Oh, it's up to 49 already. It's going to be a nice 72-degree day again. And very good. Thank you for being very gracious there and not giving the answers. I knew you'd be a dead ringer on both of these. I knew you talked about one of the subjects in the past, and it's very, very interesting and intriguing. Okay, thank you, Brian. And let's try Willie. That's WJ5BWB. I hope you're there, Willie, on HF, or at least listening. Willie, you're up. Good morning.
K4YDB and the group from KJ5BWB. Yeah, I run NetLogger all the time. Big nets, little nets, HF, VHF. It doesn't matter. NetLogger is simple, but when you get a bunch of people, and I understand updating the member information because I don't have all that yet, but it's very simple until you get a bunch of people doing it. So it is what it is, I guess. But I'm not sure about the first question, but I'm going to say the Enigma code for the second question. Being a little bit of a code man myself, I sure hope that's right. Anywho, back to net control, K1BOB, KJ5BWB.
Okay, very good, Willie. Thanks for hanging in there. And no, I understand your frustrations. I saw it on another net up here, a local morning net, where the guys that have been doing it for 100 years, and a new guy came in to run the net, and they gave him no latitude. They kept interrupting. I voiced a comment on it, and the word spread out quickly that you're giving the guy too much help he doesn't need. Just let him do it, for crying out loud. You're going to swim or sink, and most of the time you're going to swim, but when you get all the people throwing their hand in, and I understand the circumstances on why that was happening this morning, vested incentives, that sort of thing. So, no problem. Glad you're there. And Willie's answer is to the bonus question, and that was Delta. And we had a question mark on the first one. And understand who hasn't heard of that answer. So thank you, Willie. Thanks for hanging around, sir. And let's go out to Mineola, and that's W5OG. Dale has been there, done it all. Dale, what do you think this morning? And what are your thoughts on the question here? Thank you very much for relaying in, Don, this morning. It sounded great. W5OG, you're up, Dale.
Okay, thank you, Bob. And yeah, good morning to everyone. Dale, W5OG here, back home in beautiful East Texas, and actually it was 68 degrees this morning, below 70. So I don't know, maybe that's a hint of cooler temperatures ahead. I don't know, but anyway, we survived the first day or so at home with the heat. We're not used to this, that's for sure. So we're getting back acclimated to the home QTH again. And I've got some antenna work to be done. I lost my G5 RV in a storm that occurred after we were in South Dakota. So that'll be a project coming up here quickly, is to get that back. I'm going to have to again throw a line over a 100-foot pine tree, which is always a challenge. But I do have one of those shooters, and it does work to 100 feet. So that should permit it to happen. And I may have to get my son to come down with his. We did that one time. I wanted to get a specific limb, and got the binoculars out, and everything. And he got his drone, and I rigged up a thing where he could carry the line up and drop it over that specific limb, and it worked out great. So the drone system works really well. But I do have a shooter, and as long as the wind's calm, you can do it pretty well. Let's see, what else is going on? Yeah, we had an uneventful trip on back, and at my age anymore, I don't mind driving, but after about 300 miles, I'm ready to stop. And you have to break it up into a few days. We did that conveniently. We had a nice stop in York, Nebraska there, and got a chance to visit with Mike, KF0OPE. He was gracious enough to take me out and show me his crop duster aircraft. Very, very interesting. The Thrush with the turboprop engines, and I was very impressed with all the elaborate equipment that they use to do such a fine job of spraying the fields up there. Many hundreds of acres they do every year. So it's not, it is definitely dangerous work. There's no question. They lose far too many of those young fellows there doing that work each year. So I guess it's the old man in me. I had to impress upon him the need to be careful. Let's see. As far as the question, I'm not an Intel type, but I didn't. I've heard of the stew, so that jumped out at me, and I'd written down Echo for the first answer. Wasn't half quick. I think that was the one that changed frequencies on the the communication, aircraft communication is different than the telephone. And let's see, the Enigma, not that, it's not that, because that was the German system, I do believe. So I'm going to go with Alpha, Echo and Alpha. I think Leah was on to something there. Anyway, I'll be here to the bottom today, and I'll get Don in if he's still around for the 73 round. And I was doing something else right at the time it started. It was a little confusing there right at the first, but I think we did get him in all okay. Back to you, Bob. Thanks for the Monday net. A good start to a new week here. K1B will be back to net. W5OG.
W5OG, very good, Dale. Gets you down for Echo and Alpha. And did you hear what happened to McConnell? Maybe just after you left. But you probably got the only air show the Blue Angels were able to do there on a practice or whatever. I think the day prior. But they had very high severe winds and severe weather, and they got storm damage there after most of the aircraft were on the ground there and set up, and all the concessions were set up, and a million porta potties, and huge winds came in. And it pushed aircraft around. Lynn sent me a YouTube on a vintage aircraft, a vintage Air Force aircraft getting blown right through the stands there, and it kept going and going. And another aircraft, it looked like the ones they used to use down in Cessna 172 in Air Force markings. They use that at the Academy, and they used to use down at OTS to filter guys out for pilot training. And it flipped it over, it's on its back, and they canceled the air show. A couple of airmen were wounded in it, and actually the wing commander, this thing took some guts. It's contrary to the Constitution, but he commanded anybody that took videos of it to keep it to themselves and do not post any of the damage. Well, a lot of that stuff got out. And it was pretty severe. I think, boy, you're lucky. You got an angel flying with you there on top of your camper there, Dale. So very good on all that. Not too good for McConnell having to cancel a whole air show. And it showed like all the porta potties blowing down across the taxiway where they were all set up for all the crowds. And actually one of them smashed into the side of a Blue Angel. So that's my story. True or false? K1BOB. Thank you, Dale. Well, let's try Sparky and Sparks. That's Carl. KF5DJO. Good morning, Carl. You're up.
Roger that. And good morning, everybody. This is KF7DJO. See you from, it warmed up a little bit yesterday and this morning, so no ice on the pond yet, but we got a little taste of late fall over the weekend when it really turned bitter. Hey, Brian, where were you when I was writing the Indomitable Patriot series of books that could have used an intelligence officer to help grease the skids for me? Now, the earlier books in the series were based out of the Pacific Theater. So I was dealing with magic and the GABA system rather than Enigma. But just having an intelligence officer would have been a big help. I did have a little bit of help with a friend of mine who he was Army Signal Corps officer, A6EKZ, and Army Signal Corps, and spent a good portion of his career detached to the CIA, working the EVent systems along the border with the Iron Curtain countries. So it's an interesting subject, and I'd like to have bent your ear on some of that stuff. So other than that, good feedback this morning, although I'm having to rely upon the Utah SDR. So I'll be with you tomorrow, Bob, and send it back to you. K1BOB, KS7, D. Dale.
Okay, Carl, I missed your answers. Did you have answers to today's question? Okay, I think I heard negative. I'm picking up on Lumpkin pretty good. Better than a short skip to me. Okay, I'm going to turn Lumpkin off here and get back on my radio headphones, and we'll move on to Belton, Texas, and that is James, KG5 PTE. KG5 PTE. Good morning, James. You're up. Is he talking?
Hey, Bob, he shows checked out on the aim window.
Yeah, okay, Lee, thank you. He checked out an aim window. Got it. I didn't see that. Yeah, I am watching it. It's been interesting this morning. Let's see. With that, let's go to Clifford. Uncle Cliff in the mobile. We should have brought you in earlier, Clifford. I apologize. K4YDB. Good morning, Clifford. You're up.
All righty there, Commander. Thank you very much. I don't know if you hear me talking or not. But anyways, I'll follow the vice commander's lead. We go Echo and Alpha, and it's 84 degrees here outside the truck, and trying to get a little cloudy. We are in San Antonio, unloading, and I'm surrounded by stores. So if I'm getting out, I'm lucky. Anyways, but back to you, Commander, because I don't even hear myself on Lumpkin right now. So this W5PIX, I'm turning it.
Okay, Clifford, get you direct here. A little light, and I understand why. So we get you down for the same as Dale. Echo and Alpha. Echo and Alpha. Okay, very good, Clifford. Drive safe, sir. Next, let's see, John out in Hamul, I believe, is still on his appointment. I'll give a call in case you're back already. I doubt it. WA6LJS. Johnny, you there? Yeah, okay, I didn't think so. Well, let's go to Chief Mike, WW5ENC. Good morning, Mike. How are you doing this morning?
K1BOB, WW5ENC. I'm doing fine. We got to have a sense of humor about some of this stuff, though, for sure, because it always happens to us, Dale and I, and we, it's because of the delays in there, it screws with you. You just got to have a sense of humor about it. But also, if you don't have the people on your computer and you log them in, it erases everybody else's data. So that kind of makes it a problem. But anyway, I think we'll get it straight for sure. Anyway, it's a great question. Of course, the first part, I remember using that myself, so I'm going to say Echo. And the second part is interesting. I see how you did that. I think the answer is Alpha, but Delta is very close, because their more modern system was Enigma, and it was spelled with an E. So I think, yeah, you did a pretty interesting thing there. So I'm going to go Echo and Alpha, and it's a good day in Oklahoma, not a lot of wind, and the temperatures are not too terrible yet. We're, let's see, we're kind of coming up on 86 right now, so it's going to be a warm one, sort of. In fact, we have heat warnings out for Choctaw and Oklahoma City. But it's supposed to cool off in the next 3 days. We should get down in the 80s, so that could be nice. Anyway, that's pretty much it for me today, and I'll be here to the bottom, and I think I'm logging. I don't know. WW5ENZ, back to net, K1BOB.
Okay, very good, Mike. Get you down for Echo and Alpha. Let me see a lemming line formatting and promoting. And, I asked Lee to do a it. You guys work it. I know you're used to doing it. I understand the frustrations quite well of Willie. So and all the help. Yeah, he had too many instructors, perhaps. Sometimes you just gonna let the student trip on their own and recover from it, and then go on and get better. And I understand the saving the data thing. I get it, and thanks for reiterating that to me. So I understand. All you guys are in it for the right reason. So with that, we'll move out, and thanks, Mike, for that. Oh, did I spell Enigma wrong? I didn't know that. Mike, thank you very much. Let's go to WB2. JJO, Ray, New Jersey. What do you think, Ray?
K4YDB. From WB2JJO. Well, good morning to you, Bob, and all the flyers on the net. This is a fantastic net today. This is something that I can actually answer to. I spent some time stationed over at NSA, and we had a lot of this stuff. So we'll just leave it go with that. I've got a little bit of an intelligence background also, we'll just let it go with that. I'm very surprised to see some of the pictures that Charlie's got on the YouTube. I thought those things were like super secret, but I guess not. I guess that's over and done with as far as that goes. Anyway, let me see here. Today we have a beautiful sunny day here. It's going to be hot and humid here in South Jersey. And I'll tell you what, it's a great beach day, that's for sure. If anybody wants to go down the beach, this is a great day for it. As far as the answers are concerned, well, Bob, I'll tell you what. I really should pass on this one, but I'm gonna throw my answers out. The answers is Echo for the first one, and I wasn't around for World War II, so I'm gonna just let you go and guess on the second one. I'm gonna go with Alpha on that one. So the answers here are Echo and Alpha here. But like I said, I'm very surprised to see what's on the YouTube there. I thought that was either a confidential or a secret thing. So anyway, we'll let that go. So Bob, back over to you. I'm hearing you very well on the electric radio. You're coming in a good S5. Anywhere between a 5 and a 9. It depends on propagation, but it's a good deal today. So hopefully I got 100% today, Bob. Back over to you. K4YDB, WB2JJO.
Okay, very good, Ray. Yeah, I got you on my radio. I got you a little better on Lumpkin there, but copied all that. I knew you'd kind of know about this stuff. I didn't know you'd get the answer wrong. Oh, you're in the lemming line. Yeah, it's a pity when this many lemmings go off the cliff at once. Very good. Has Joe Biden ever been on your beach there? I guess he's out in California now, working very hard with a millionaire friend on the beach. Quite, never mind. I won't say it. Charlie would have to censor me on YouTube. Okay, let's go out to another beach area. K2SJP, that's Bob out there. Thanks for the help this morning, Bob.
Okay, K1BOB, this is K2SJP, and we're over here in Lutz, and I don't know what happened to my computer, but the audio went out, so I shut it down, and I'm on the iPhone right now, and hopefully you hear me okay on that. Let's see, we have here in Tampa Bay, Florida, 80 degrees. And it's going down, not up. So we were a little bit cool yesterday. Finally it's breaking, that humidity. It's not quite as bad, and the temperature is down, so no more 90s. So it looks like we're in for some cooler weather, which is wanted, that's for sure. On the question, I am definitely going with Leon and 5BE, Dale, W5OG, Mike, WW5ENZ, and Ray, WB2JJO. I will be a lemming because I believe the answers to be the Sioux 3 and the JN25B. So I will go along with that. Thanks for running the net, Bob. We'll be here till the end, and then over on Echolink. K1BOB, K2SJP.
Okay, very good, Bob. Yeah, S9 signal here. Good to hear you this morning. And Bob wanted to hedge his bets, I guess, son. He's going with Echo and Alpha also. Oh, what a pity. Okay. Thanks, Bob. We're going to move on to Don in Cincinnati, Ohio. W1AFR. Why do I want to say the name of the radio station there? Because it used to be a show, a sitcom. W1AFR. You're up, Don. Is he still talking?
No, he's done.
Okay. Don, I had caught you when you first came in directly here. I could not hear you on the Georgia SDR. I'm sorry I missed a lot of that, Don. Hope to get you again when conditions are better. Please come back and join us. We'd like to talk to you. W1AFR. Thank you very much, Don. We'll try to give you a call if we get to a 73 round here today. With that, I'm going to move out to California, and that, of course, is Professor Bob, NX6RG. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Bob. K1BOB. This is NX6RG. Well, got a beautiful sunny day here in Northern California. Just enjoying the weather. About to take Schroeder out for his walk. So, very interesting question this morning, but like Brian, being an alumnus of Electronic Security Command, I know those answers cold, so I'll just recuse myself. And, well, it's been an interesting weekend doing a lot of different things, but one of the most interesting was writing a young lady a letter of recommendation for the U.S. Naval Academy, of all things, being Air Force. But, yeah, she was one of 8 students we sponsored the California Boys and Girls State, and when she came back, she decided she wanted to continue service in the military and would like to apply for the Naval Academy. So I worked on a letter of recommendation, and that took quite a bit of doing to understand what the Navy was looking for exactly and how her resume fit into all of that. But got it done and forwarded it to our commander for his signature. So wishing her all the best in her selection there. Anyway, with that, we'll say 73s. I'm going to go take Schroeder for a walk, and we'll see everybody on the air tomorrow. K1BOB, NX6RG.
Okay, Bob, very good. Good copy on you this morning, sir, and we'll make it a one and done there, and very good on the letter to the for Naval Academy recommendation. It pulls a lot of weight. I did one. I was just reminiscing yesterday on a picture of my son when he was in his teens, buddying around in Utah when I was stationed there with a friend, and his friend had thoughts of going and becoming a pilot, a commercial pilot, but he said he wanted to go to OTS and on to pilot training. And I wrote him a letter of recommendations, a very nice one. I had pretty good position then, and voila, he went to OTS, did well there, went on to pilot training, did well there. Last I knew, he was probably coming up on Lieutenant Colonel. His priority is, was he's still in the Air Force. and he's flying B-1 bombers. B-1 bombers. So good on him, aircraft commander in B-1 bombers. So, and a fire service officer or NCO can have a big effect on folks getting into those schools. Not just darn congressmen that don't know much about it, which is required now, really, to get into the Air Force Academy, unfortunately. But all those kids going in there, I call them kids. I was an ROTC professor, and they're excellent. They're excellent. I mean, the grades they have to have, you got to be an A average to get in there, and then get a congressional recommendation and things. So I understand that all. Very good. Now I'll give you a 73, Bob. Thank you. And I figured you might know the answer. You'd know the real answer on this one. So thanks for withholding the real answer. Okay, let's go out to Las Cruces. That's Joe. W5ABI. Good morning, Joe. You're up.
Yeah, K4YDB, W5ABI. Yeah, good morning from the city of Crossers. Good morning to all the flyers. I got a quick story about that. We have 3 wooden crosses erected up on Main Street at the intersection of 2 crosses in Maine. And a while back we had a mayoral candidate that wanted to take that down because he said it was discriminating against different days. Well, he never made names. Just a quick story. Anyhow, let me see. It's a beautiful morning here. We're starting to cool off. It's 84 now. Supposed to go up to 97. So we've had a couple, 3 days below the triple digits. Anyhow, I'm going to stray from the lemons. Probably shouldn't, but I will. I'm going to go with Echo for the first one. I'm going to go with Delta for the second one. And we'll be here at the bottom, Bob. K4YDB, W5ABI.
Okay, good to hear from you, Joe, and good independent thinking there. We got you for Echo and Delta, I think you said. Very good. And City of Crosses. So I guess that was named because of the Spanish missionaries and folks that came in looking for precious minerals. They made it all the way up into Idaho. I don't know if they got into Canada, but the Spanish at the time were in search of setting up missions, but primarily they were in the search and went far and wide looking for gold and precious minerals. Which there are remains up here in Idaho of the old, what do they call them, when they used to grind down the ore and get the gold out of it up here in some pretty remote areas. And I know all through Utah, so I guess City of Crosses, I'm thinking, is because of the Spanish influence, big Spanish influence that came into the southwest and northwest. Very good, Joe. Just my thoughts. You can correct me if I'm wrong when we come back. Let's move on to John in Peoria, Arizona, W7AJN. Good morning, John. You had a great signal this morning. Go ahead, sir.
K1POB, W7AJN. Good morning, Bob. Good morning to all the flyers out there on the net. It's another beautiful day in paradise. We're at 84 degrees right now. It actually started out at 78 this morning, which is one of the few mornings that we've seen temperatures overnight lower than 80. So that's an omen of what's coming. But looking at the weather forecast, it's going to be over 100 for probably the next week, 10 days. Before it starts, that afternoon temperature starts cooling down. So it's still summer here. I spent the weekend, or actually Saturday, all day Saturday, up in Williams. I drove up to Williams to see a friend up there who's really having a difficult time in his life. And we spent the day up there talking and just communicating and helping each other. And so that was my weekend, and it was It was a fruitful weekend. I think we left there on Saturday, late Saturday afternoon, feeling a little bit better. Anyway, he reminded me of a song that Willie Nelson sang, and also Dale's comment reminded me of the song also. But don't let the old man in. Don't let the old man in. So that's going through my head right now. Anyway, the answers to the question, I'm going to go with the lemmings and answer Echo and Alpha. Echo and Alpha. So, K4YDB, W7AJN, I will be here till the morning.
Okay, John, very good. You're still a nice S9 just about here, John, and very good on being a humanitarian, which I know you always have been, and helping your friend out up in Williams. I lived in that state and retired in that state, so I'm pretty familiar with Arizona, Williams area too, and much further on north. Very interesting state. Okay, we'll leave you, we'll put you down for the wrong answer there. Echo and Elsa, and thanks, John. Well, let's go out to Cartersville. Charlie's been leaning back laughing this morning and thinking about all this stuff. Charlie, I want you to put the real picture of me in there next Monday. You know the real picture I had? Guy in a flight suit with a scruffy facial hair. You got to put my real one in next week, Charlie. I forgot to ask you to do that. Anyway, let's go to K4YDB. He knows all. Charlie, what do you think?
K1BOB, K4YDB. All right, I think I still have it. I can see if I can stick it in there. And there's one that keeps popping up over here. I got to move it to a different folder so it doesn't do that. Anyway, morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good morning. Right now, it's 85 degrees here. I got up this morning. It was 60 when I went to do my walk out in the park. And it's supposed to get up into the 90s again today. So we're going to have 90s for a while. We could really, really use the rain. Yesterday I mowed the grass. There wasn't much to mow, but I have to keep it cut. But it is what it is. But the conditions. I'm thinking about that question. I'm thinking about that picture you're talking about. So anyway. I'm not going to do a lot today. I'm going to work here in the shack. I got to I'm gonna do some work over here on my other computer. But as far as the question goes, well, I really didn't want to be a lemming. I'm looking at all these answers, and you guys really didn't give me a place to park. So the only thing I see is one. So put me down for you guys. Well, I'll go ahead and take the A that you guys have got. But the first letter I'm going to change to another A. I'm going to go AA on this one. Alcoholics, well, you know what. Anyway, I'll turn it back to you, Bob. K1BOB, K4YDB. I'm back to net.
Okay, very good, Charlie. Charlie's an independent thinker. He has not let the old man in, I'll tell you that. He's going for AA, double A. Oh, let's see. Yeah, Charlie, very good. Thanks for that. And what else was I going to say? Yeah, don't let the old man in. I think maybe a couple of people have done that. John mentioned that. And Clint Eastwood, I think they either showed him in the video in some of his latter movies when he was a grumpy old World War II vet from Korea. And he's a good example of don't let the old man in. And he's still going fairly strong still, living out in this beautiful home in California that he's had for ages. So can't take anything from Clint Eastwood. One of my favorites. Okay, Charlie. Well, thanks for that. And thanks for putting yourself down for the correct answer. And next we're going to go to Mike. KF0OPE. Mike, Clarkston, Nebraska. You're up. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, K1BOB on the net. This is KF0OPE. Well, it's a warm one here in Nebraska, not a cloud in the sky. It's supposed to get up to 95 today and probably 90% humidity. It's been fairly miserable the last few days, heat-wise. Yeah, I very much enjoyed meeting Dale and Carolyn. Glad they were able to stop in York, and glad to hear you guys made it home safely. As McConnell, yeah, my partner in our Yak 52 had it there with another Yak 52, and thankfully there was no damage. His text said, and I quote, "The Yak just sat there smiling at chaos and death all around." So that's pretty tough, but they do have fabric-covered ailerons and tail surfaces, so glad that they didn't get hit by any flying debris. They were still airworthy, and he flew them home. As to the answer to the question, I'm gonna jump in the lemming line because I think they are onto something there. But I noticed you did have pictures of both a Sioux and a C telephone on Charlie's live stream, so that's a little trickery on your part there, because I saw the C and I thought, well, that's it. Anyway, Echo and Alpha, and so yeah, Sioux 3 and the JN25 Bravo. I should be here till the end. Back over to K1BOB and the net, KF0OPE.
Okay, very good. Mike, thanks for that, and your friend's aircraft there. Yeah, many times they'd park aircraft, most military aircraft, they'd park on the apron, on the taxiway apron, which is pretty wide, and that's usually where we went to air events at. And well, with big aircraft, heavy military aircraft, yeah, it didn't matter. You couldn't move an F-111 because it's 100,000 pounds fully laden with fuel, and or a little less than that. With bombs, it'd be over 100,000. So yeah, I'm glad to hear that you didn't see any damage there. I watched that one aircraft just get rolled back till it hit a car, and then kept going after that. I mean, that's how severe the winds were. It's like tornado strength. I don't know if they were, but boy, you could see it. Moved everything, anything light, and all the concession stands, all that stuff just blew away. Oh, well, that's too bad. It's terrible to see something like that happen with the, most likely millions of dollars just about in damage, probably. But the old military airlifters that were sitting there, they didn't budge a bit. Okay, well, thank you for that. We're going to put you also down for the wrong answer, Mike. And before I give a big clue here, I am going to bring in W4PUO next. Because I love Leland and what he flew, I'm going to give you a big clue. For answer, and I'll give you a second to think about it. But all the answers in question A were true at one time. They're all real things. They're all real things. I'll just say it at that. I didn't make up any of these. So anyway, Lee, go ahead. We want to hear your learned answer to this. K1BOB. Good morning, sir.
It's K1BOB, W4PUO. Well, if that's the case, I'm going to say my answer to the first question is A, B, C, D, E. And my answer to the second question is A, just because I am a lemming, Charlie, and I don't have any direct knowledge of any of these. But if you want a I can't even say it's specificity on number one, I'm going to have to go with the lemmings also, Echo. And thank you, Bob, for doing the net. I'll stick around. K1BOB, W4PUO.
Okay, Lee, thank you very much. We'll put you also down for, let's see, all the above. Okay, and Echo and Alpha. Very good, Lee. Let's see, that's the end of the list as I have it this morning. Have I missed anybody on this morning's list? If I have, please come now with your call sign. Okay, no one missed out. Come to other check-ins. I know there's a lot of people listening out there, and we'll check in at the end, and we love that. And we'll get you in just a minute. But I want to give the answer first, that all those have been hanging around for the answer. And, well, the first question was the secure telephone system, which was heavily used by all the services and government in general from the 1970s to early 2000s. I know a lot of you are familiar with it. I used one quite a bit. And this was a system, the Sig Sally. Well, the Sig Sally was a real system, and Charlie has a picture up of it. It's a huge system, and the picture is from the display at the National Cryptologic Museum. It was the first true secure telephone system, operational way back in 1943. The massive device was the central center pin that weighed 50 tons. That was not the answer. Break. Okay, answer B. STE. Well, that is it's called Secure Terminal Equipment, and it's an encrypted telephone communication system for wired landline communication, which offers very high speed and good digital quality, and that is what's being used today. That's actually the newest system. Probably came into effect, developed in 2004. I think it took effect in 2008, which presupposed prior system. The Charlie, a lot of you guessed that. I talked about half-quick before. That was a frequency hopping UHF radio. It was only in the F-111, the AWACS, and some other tactical aircraft in the 1990s. When I came back from Upper Hayford, it had been installed in the radios. We had to learn how to use that. It was a bit burdensome. You had to store about 10 or 12 frequencies in the preset, which we usually used all the presets on a radio. And it was a pain, and then you had to get a time of the day. They called it a tot, and it was a pain in the butt. And then I had to check into AWACS to get their time of day to make it work. And after a while, it would start to get a little off. Frequency hopping, about one frequency every second or so. But that was not the answer. Twinkle. Well, this was actually former work from founder of PGP, whatever that is, Bill Zimmerman, and it was a voice over IP, a secure protocol, but that was not the choice. And the answer was the Q3, which I knew a lot of you would be familiar with. I used one quite a bit. Doing nuclear stuff, use safety, and even on the IG team, we used to use the Q3 quite a bit. And it was a secure, part of a secure family of telephones introduced in 1987 by the NSA, National Security Agency, used for the United States, its contractors, and its allies. 2-3 disc units look much like a typical office phone with a lot of buttons. They plug into a standard wall jack and could make calls to any ordinary phone user. When a call was placed, there was a procedure you had to go through to initiate a transmission. Required use of an encrypted key. You had to have that and lock it up in a safe when you were done. So I got to use one quite a bit on the staff at the IG, Tactical Air Command. So it's probably the best-known product on the U.S. government market. It was the Stu-3 family of phones. There was a 1, 2, and 3. 3 was probably the most used. Whatever the system that now replaced is mentioned by the STE, the Secure Terminal Equipment. It secures both data and voice. So there you go. Well, yeah, I knew a lot of you got that right. More than I thought would, but not by too much. Right. Okay, right here between questions. But yeah, go ahead. Say your call sign again. You had a question, sir. Go ahead. Yeah, McConnell, they had severe weather and knocked an airplane over on its top. It looked like a Cessna 172. I think it was an Air Force training aircraft, a little better than a 172. I remember my brother flew on and busted out on it, but I think they have it at the Academy. It's got Air Force markings on it, and it's just directly upside down. Another old vintage aircraft of Air Force markings. Just got pushed right through the concession area, and one of the many porta potties that got blown right off the apron ran into one of the Blue Angels, and the Blue Angels got canceled. Go ahead. No, it was last weekend, I think the 23rd, 24th, 25th. The Blue Angels were there early. They usually come in a day early, and they did a practice air show. Our vice commander here, he watched it from his RV, and from nearby, I guess, and he probably got to see the only air show, which was their practice. So they came down, waited for the air show on Saturday, and the wind blew up. McConnell Air Force Base, Wichita. Yeah, I think that's the only one. Yeah, Wichita, Kansas, you got it correct. Okay, sir, thank you again. And, okay, this is K4YDB, good question there. And, appreciate you calling in. Let's see, let me go to the second question. That was the bonus question. I wasn't sure everyone would get this right. If you got it wrong, we got such authoritative folks there on the radio this morning that know this stuff, and I knew it. It's not Special Olympics, actually. But the bonus question was, this was the name of the Allied codebreakers, gave the main and most secure Japanese encrypted communications system. And yeah, it was encrypted, a little archaically, in World War II. Which of these systems was it? JN-25B, yeah, that was the question. It was JN-25B. And all the others were actual systems, and I won't go into that. But let me just talk about the JN-25, or JN-25 Bravo, to be more correct. It was the Imperial Japanese Navy Command and Control Communications Scheme. It was also used by diplomats, which was introduced in 1939. The code book had about 27,500 entries, and an additive book with 300 pages of 100 random 5-digit groups. The code was broken by actually British codebreaker, and that's the reason I said Allied forces, John Tilton. Quite a thing. And I had some other notes. That's what helped us, and Brian mentioned this one time, with Midway Island takeover. We knew it was happening out there. And they actually, our codebreakers did an HF radio test by saying something and see if the Japanese would repeat it, and they did. And it managed to find the last couple of things they were looking for when the Japanese did that. Great. Okay, this was also used to help the P-51s knowing where in the West Pacific, knowing where the Admiral was, one of their top guys is out doing post checks on the different islands, and C-38 made a very long haul out to it, and they came into the Betty bomber, I think it was, that he was flying in along with another one, and shot him down before he got to do his inspection. And that was a big morale boost for the Allied forces in the Pacific and elsewhere. Well, that's my question for today. Everyone did well. I applaud you. Tough audience here. That's okay. Okay. Oh, golly, there's no time for a 73 round. So I'm just going to ask for any late check-ins, and then I'll go to any comments by exception. If you got something you want to ask or say, I'll just open it up in the air. Before I do, let me ask for any last check-ins. Anybody out there, please come with your call sign, name, and location that's been listening in and would like to say hi. Okay, well, I didn't hear anything, and that's okay. So let me send it out to all the folks on our list this morning. Any last comments for the Air Force Flyers Club Net? Please come now. Yeah, Charlie Yankee, sorry, with your question. Go ahead, yeah.
We lost the internet on the iPhone again.
Okay, stand by. I got two of you right there. Something about the code talkers. Yeah, no, we've talked about, I think, the code talkers in the past quite a while back, but we need to do it again. fact, we had a guy check in. I don't know if that was you. It was actually on one of the Indian reservations down in Arizona, I think, or New Mexico. Yeah, go ahead with your question again, please. Oh, wonderful. You got stuff you can talk to us about. I don't know much about it. I knew they used Navajo language, and I think they used some code words, too, that wouldn't normally be known. And I don't know if any of it was encrypted. I do not recall. I don't know. Maybe you can tell us. So this is K4YDB. Back to you. Okay, yeah, I knew it was Navajo language, and you say there was no interpretation for some of that stuff. It was open language, I guess. So, well, very good for that. Oh, thanks. I appreciate you listening in this morning. Please come back. Any last comments, sir? Very good. You got a nice S9 here, by the way. So, well, thank you, sir, for joining in. We appreciate your comments. And please join us. We start every morning at 1500Z. 1500Z. So we're going to leave you for now. And one last call out for any final comments. Okay, nothing hurt because most everybody got the answer right today. Well, I'm going over to Echolink. Echolink. I'm going to go to Echolink on the AFFC, the Air Force Flyers Club node on Echolink. And there's only a couple of us there right now, but I know it's got to populate. It's just myself and Don appear to be on there. So come join us on Echolink, and thanks everybody for all those folks, all three of our net loggers this morning. And best to Willie. We'll get you in there very shortly, and we'll give you rest help. So sorry about that, Willie. I understand it. And thanks everybody, Dale, for bringing in Don this morning, and for Chief Mike's help, and our relay help, and Charlie, especially for you too. Very good, Charlie. And I didn't have a chance to talk to you on it. Been too busy this morning gabbing, but I need to get out of here because the Alaska Pacific Net's going to come up a couple KC just above us, and they're waiting for us to get out of here, and patiently waiting, and appreciate you guys, and thanks for being so thoughtful. Good propagation today. This is K4YDB. I am going to close down the Air Force Flyers Club net and relinquish this frequency. We were normal use, but the normal use is K4YDB.